Hello there! The only Halloween top I own is honestly that X-Wing TIE Fighter orange and black one, so I thought with our performance this season so far, this shirt's also pretty scary. But today, we're not here to talk about football results, we are here because Marvel Zombies, a spin-off from the What If episode, which is one of my favourite, actually, it probably is my favourite What If episode. Well, that and then the interdimension one where we see Mustafar as part of Marvel canon. Zombies has come out today, which is a show going into that Zombies universe, and I'm not entirely sure how it's going to add up because I haven't seen the show early, so I'm yet to watch it. But thanks to trailers, clips, posters and more released sections of episodes, we have seen enough characters to make a really easy Marvel Zombies CMF. So I thought I'd take a look and see which characters we can zombify up without buying that Steve Rogers from the Marvel CMF. It's a great minifigure, I know, and we could use those parts on other figures, but we're trying to go a little more basic here and still get a really good look. The first character that I want to modify isn't even on this board. We will be taking our Lady Thor, or Jane minifigure, because I want to use that design of Stormbreaker from a viewer, Archer, over in the channel community. We got there in the end. Posted instructions for their custom Stormbreaker, and it turns out all this time I've had the axe the wrong way around. So thank you to everyone pointing that out in the comments of the short. Tell you what, you can go back. I am now going to flip the axe. I don't own the other piece for the back of the axe, but it lines up perfectly and legal to that stud, putting it almost perfectly in line with the back piece there. I have used a wider piece as well just to counter that axe head, but we're going to give Stormbreaker to Spider-Man. I know, Spider-Man wielding Stormbreaker in the trailer. What a combination that is between the strength of Stormbreaker and the, I guess, no powers of Thor quite, but surely a similar effect with the same materials, and then the mighty power of Spider-Man. This is a force to be reckoned with. All right, that one was pretty easy, but don't worry, they start to get a bit more difficult towards the end. In fact, why wait till the end? The last minifigure on my list is the floating Ant-Man head on the Doctor Strange cape, and I'm not quite sure who I'm using for Ant-Man. In fact, I think I found the perfect candidate, and it's one we used recently for the Mandalorian because it uses the same hairpiece. I'm not sure if dark brown or black looks better on this version of Ant-Man, but I'm going to steal Chandler's head and hairpiece because it seems that Lego give Ant-Man quite generic faces, so I feel like Chandler works well for that. The Strange cape does have its own identity, so I guess this is two characters in one, but as Ant-Man is only a head, I think we'll let it slide. In fact, Ant-Man's head doesn't stay on without a stud, so I'm going to get a grey one to represent the bottom of the vase, the case that goes around his head. Bringing our two characters together, we have another one of our custom minifigures, but to get him to stand, I wonder if a clip will hold the back of the cape, because that would weigh it down and give a bit of counterbalance to the weight of the minifigure head on the top. Or alternatively, clips aside, we can just grab a translucent bar element, one of those bars with the stud connector on the bottom, and it seems that we're going to need a little base for our minifigure, but that's a lot easier than working with clips. This might actually be one of my favourite customs I've created. I mean, the Spider-Man and Stormbreaker was fairly easy, but this is really cool. Next up, let's get all the zombies out of the way. I mean, it's basically the entire Avengers but zombified, and thankfully I have just the minifigure because for my ultimate duel on Peridia display I picked up 2 battle packs of the Night Trooper versus Death Trooper, or the Night Death Trooper from Ahsoka, and each of these come with identical zombie faces, which I don't know if you noticed during Marvel, but all of the zombie faces seem to look not the same but not different. I know that's making sense to some of you out there. For those of you it isn't, you're going to have to go back and watch it and hopefully you can see what I mean. But I'm going to take a zombie head from each of these and just replace the heads and maybe some of the fleshy body parts on the Avengers and see which characters we've already seen. For instance, we've seen Captain America, Doctor Strange, Iron Man, I really don't know which version I'm picking, but it's probably going to be the Iron Man in the suit. Black Widow, who is not in this month's Marvel magazine, but the next Marvel magazine, we will be picking an updated one with a much better hairpiece. So let me know in the comments if Black Widow can be used for any customs, because this figure is going to be spare. Bucky Barnes, sporting that nice silver shield. Zombie Thanos, who isn't even here because he wasn't in the first Avengers movie. Though saying that, nor was Bucky, Doctor Strange, or half the other minifigures. And whilst we're here, I think we also need Black Panther. That was easy to find. And then we'll also grab the Hulk, because I feel like the green skin kind of meshes a bit with the zombie, and I really want to see how that looks. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 minifigures, leaving another 2 after this. But let's swap all the body parts with zombies. And now that the Avengers have been zombified, I'm realizing how weird this ragtag bunch of Avengers looks bald on Stormtrooper armor. Also, the fact that we created a bonus Death Trooper means that I didn't have a 10th head. I think I've got 9 zombie heads that all look the same, which is the aim of this video, to get them all looking the same. So this guy's just got a few studs keeping up his helmet. Good thing that I didn't have another zombified character besides the one that's going to be needed for this head. And also these characters have torn apart my Peridia display, so I'm not sure how long I'll leave that up actually. I've also checked over my list, and the Ant-Man head and Strange Cape were counted as separate characters, so I've included them as separate characters on the 12, which I think is the wrong decision, because the cape and the head would definitely not be their own CMF. So I'm leaving spot 12 open to you to see which character you would add to the line. I've got a favorite Halloween minifigure, and I've lost it. I don't know where I put it. Aha! Found it. So my favorite Halloween minifigure is this old conductor from, I don't even know what set this was from. I just know it was from like a little poly bag, maybe like a coffin car or something that would come free with a magazine. And I wanted to work it into this. So as soon as I saw the conductor hanging out of the tram on the trailer for Zombies, I had to include this minifigure. But like I've said, all the zombie heads are the same. Thankfully, I've got an extra one from the actual door on Peridia display, 4 from each of the battle packs, and a 9th one from that display. So I can swap out the head for this zombie that looks like its flesh is a bit more worn than some of the others. It's 11 minifigures, not quite 12. 12 characters, 11 minifigures, which leaves a spot open for you to fill in the comments. And let me know your favourite part of Marvel Rivals. Zombies. Almost said Marvel Rivals. You didn't hear that. I absolutely love how these minifigures have come out, and it does make me feel like we're missing something this Halloween. Maybe just like a Zombies battle pack from Lego would go so well, because they're not just for Marvel, but Star Wars, the Death Troopers from, I think the book is called Death Troopers, something like that, or maybe Night Troopers. It's all about zombified stormtroopers. We could add these faces to stormtroopers, maybe because we've got the Night Trooper and Death Trooper battle pack that Lego think we don't want any more zombies. But I'd love some zombie parts, some like torn sleeves, torn trousers. I have seen a few of these minifigures with parts from the Steve Zombie, from the CMF, from the one of like 2 What If characters as well. Where are the What If sets? Mixing that minifigure with some of these does look really cool, and we need other parts. There's been a few like shorts printed on torn minifigures, a lot of werewolves actually, more so than zombies. So we need more zombie parts in our arsenal. This Ant-Man with the floating cape is really cool, especially if I can find my other Chandler hairpiece. Might have to keep that one more permanently. And Spider-Man with the axe with Stormbreaker that's a force to be reckoned with. Can't even hold it up straight. The power is just too overwhelming. So that is all for today's video. Again, let me know, minifigure number 12 in the comments. Who are you choosing? There's loads of Avengers that show up in quite regular gear, kind of like Spider-Man. I wanted to include him for Stormbreaker because I think that's a really cool design and allows me to bring down my Avengers and show off some of my other brick-built weapons. But zombie or otherwise, let me know your character. Until next time, may the bricks be with you, always.